Oh, yes. It's time for another episode of
What are y'all doing, man?
Kawhi Light Zone, the surreal world that we all live in now as we wait for the Kawhi free agency decision. And for those of you counting along at home, we are, yes, in day 6 of Kawhi Watch. He has met with the Lakers, the Clippers, the Raptors, and to those of you who thought Kawhi would, never fly his way all the way out to Toronto just to have a meeting, guess what, guys? Looks like he flew all the way to Toronto just to have a meeting. Earlier today, there's an aviation correspondent up there named Tom Polodek tweeted out some info that said that Kawhi was likely flying on that MLSE, that Raptors-owned parent company jet, back to San Diego. So he's now supposedly in Southern California, if that was ever really him at all, up in Toronto. You can also see this Instagram post we've got up here. That's Kawhi's sister. The caption is, "Be patient."
Yeah.
To which somebody was like, "Oh, maybe we have breaking news." And she's like, no, just be patient, people. One player that is awaiting Kawhi's decision urgently is Danny Green. He spoke about waiting for Kawhi on his podcast. Take a listen to Inside the Green Room.
Worried also. All those things come across the board. If I miss out on opportunities to get the short of the stick, which would suck. So I'm hoping that he makes the decision soon. We have a couple things in place that's lined up. We're going to see how much longer these games will wait. I don't think much longer than another day or so. And then hopefully a good decision comes out of it, not just for him but for me.
If Danny's right, and it is only a day or so, that's going to be good news for the Lakers because they have now put themselves in a bit of an urgent situation. Listen to Bobby Marks break down the ticking clock the LA Lakers are on. He did this on Golic and Wingo.
What's supposed to happen is that the Lakers are going to use their $32 million in cap space if or without Kawhi Leonard. They're going to sign Kawhi or free agents and build out the roster, and then they were going to do the Anthony Davis trade. That's kind of how it has to work. And I'm looking at the timing of this. We're 48 hours from July 6th, right? At noon, you can start making trades. What happens if this Kawhi Leonard decision lingers into Sunday, where teams are not going to wait?
So what he's explaining is once the trades start getting executed, the cap space shrinks. These are Kawhi's max contract options. If the Lakers execute the AD trade before they sign Kawhi, they will have $11 million less to offer over the life of the contract than the other teams. So, Perk, when you see this window of opportunity maybe closing for the Lakers, what do you think it's like for Kawhi knowing that this additional factor is now looming out there too?
Well, I mean, we talking about $11 million, right? So it's not like it's apples and oranges. I mean, and Kawhi seems like a dude that's obviously he wants the money, but $11 million shouldn't make him hurry up and rush his decision. If he lose out on it, I'm pretty sure he'll make it up in other areas signing with the Lakers.
Right.
I'm just jealous that it's not me in this kid wall right now.
With all of those different numbers. Can you explain a little bit more why the cap space shrinks once the trades execute?
Right, so the whole $32 million number is based on the idea that they have the space, go out, sign players, and then do the Anthony Davis trade. Remember, Brandon Ingram, Alonzo Ball, Josh Hart, these guys are still technically Lakers. Anthony Davis is still technically a Pelican. So until that trade happens, their numbers are on the books. They're lower numbers. Once the deal gets done, they got less space because now you're going with the current actual numbers of Anthony Davis's contract on the books. That's what's going on here. And as Bobby Marks said, Pelicans don't want to do the Lakers any favors.
Right.
July 6th hits. Where's my
noon?
people? Where are my players? Where are all my picks? I want them now, right? Like 50 Cent, they want it right now.
Right.
So now here's the thing about.
And by the way, it's not just the Pelicans because there's been
Absolutely.
trades made off of that trade,
right.
right? So you have teams that want to get their rookies, the people that they've drafted into Summer League that they were drafting for someone else who was drafting for someone else.
Right, and I'm pretty sure no team want to do the Lakers any favors right now, so especially if they have a chance at landing Kawhi.
Absolutely. But there's one thing, that graphic is correct, but it assumes one very important thing, that Kawhi wants to sign 5 or 4 years.
Okay.
If he's signing a 2-year deal or a 3-year deal, I'm not saying that's what he's thinking. I'm saying that's an option available to him, especially because if he becomes a 10-year vet, the max is much higher.
Yes.
Right.
So it may not be even that much money left on the table for him.
Right.
There's a situation where he comes to the Lakers after an AD trade, but instead of 4 years, 127, it's 3 years or even 2 years, and then he comes back into free agency and reaps the benefits.
Here's where the possible $11 million is maybe more of a factor. What if that date passes, Kawhi still hasn't made the decision, the Lakers have been holding this space open for him, and then a day or two later he says, you know what, actually I'm staying in Toronto. Then they have less money to go after other guys.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Yeah, that is accurate. So the cap space shrinks either way, whether
Right.
Kawhi comes or not. But now that
But it's not just Kawhi who might pay the, quote, price of that.
Well, I mean, or it might be the Lakers. They just might be able to afford 2 guys instead of 3 guys, or
Right.
2 of the guys that they really like Danny Green, who's one, and another name that no one's really mentioned, who had a really good year last year, Marcus Morris, who's
Absolutely.
represented by Clutch Management.
Yes.
So those are 2 players who, if Kawhi doesn't go to the Lakers, they got some money lined up for him probably.
Right. Although Danny Green, it seems like if Kawhi comes back to the Raptors,
He might go back to
indications
Toronto.
are that he would want to go run it back with
Yeah.
him there. We'll have to see, though, what he decides and where he wants to go. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.